Hey everybody, it's John from John Talk Sports, and I'm here today doing the bracket challenge for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. So let's get started. Group A. I think this group is going to be really competitive because, you have teams like Mexico and Czech Republic and South Korea who are all pretty even, but I think that it's going to play out like this. I think we got Mexico, then you got South Korea, then the Czechs. That's how I think it's going to go. Because, it really could depend on any given day who's going to beat who. But because I think, they're that close, it's going to be a really interesting group. And then Group B, we got Canada, Bosnia, Qatar, and Switzerland. I think Switzerland's going to dog walk this group. I think that the quality of their team as a whole is just way better than anybody else in the group. Like against Canada, Canada's really hurt right now. So I think that they could take advantage of that. And Bosnia does not have, as much general depth as the Swiss. So I think that the Swiss are going to win the group, and then you get Bosnia second, Canada third. And then moving on to Group C, two, that first match between Brazil and Morocco is going to mean a lot to the trajectory of this group. I think whoever wins that one, or whoever, if it's a draw, and it is what it is, but whoever wins that one will win the group. And I think that even though Morocco had such a lovely run last year's tournament, and they almost won the AFCON. Yeah, that's right. They almost won the AFCON. They gave them the AFCON over Senegal, who won the game cleanly. And then they later come out and award it to Morocco, which is just it's just wrong. It's just incorrect. So I think that Brazil beat the fake AFCON champions. So then we get Brazil number 1, we get Morocco number 2, and then we get the Scottish number 3. Because, with this new third place format, you never know who's going to make an appearance in the round of 32. We'll find out later. And now we got Group D, which I think is more predictable than people see, because I see the probability pretty close between the United States and Turkey. Oh, it's going to be a coin toss. I think Turkey is going to dog walk the United States. I think that Turkey's going to send a message, because they got Yildiz, they got Arda Güler, they got a bunch of guys who could really show up in this tournament, and they will. So I'd say Turkey dog walks the States, and we get the States 2 and the Aussies 3. Moving on to Germany's group, Group E. I think the Germans win this one, but it's going to be close. There's going to be close games between them and Ecuador, and also the Ivory Coast as well. Since the Ivory Coast is showing a lot of good form in these pre-World Cup friendlies, beating France 2-1, which is just an insane feat, and we'll see if that can translate to the tournament. But I think that Germany gets number 1 still in a hard-fought group games against the Ivory Coast and Ecuador. And they come out number 1. But number 2 is a bit tricky. But I think it's going to be Ecuador. They were second in World Cup qualifying in South America. They were a defensive powerhouse. They only let in 5 goals in 18 games or something. It was absolutely unreal. So I think that Ecuador is going to take number 2 in this group, and then Ivory Coast takes 3. I think that they're going to be one of the better third place teams anyways, so Ivory Coast will book their ticket to the round of 32 as well. And then we have a super duper close group. You got Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, Tunisia in Group F, but I still think that the Dutch are going to come up. But They have a lot more star power. They have a lot more, like, crazy good guys like Van Dijk, center back, and you got, like, pretty decent midfield, and you got, like, Cody Gakpo. Even though, he's okay, but yeah, I'm just saying, like, they have stars to be seen everywhere. So I think that Netherlands win, but it will not be easy because Japan is very threatening. I think they're going to take number 2 because we saw what they did to Germany last time. We saw how they, took Croatia to extra time, or took Croatia to penalties, my mistake. And they really proved that they could do something on the world stage. And I think they're going to show that again. And I think they're going to get number 2. And they're going to have a pretty nice run. We'll see who they get in the round of 32. Then Sweden third. But yeah, it's going to be close. Sweden's a great team as well. I really think that they're going to do damage in this best third place category. Then we got Group G. We got Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. I'd say Belgium, then Egypt, then Iran. Because Egypt, you still got guys like Mo Salah who could get it done. Belgium, even though they're getting older, their golden generation might be behind them. But they still can get it done and still are going to be first place out of this group of teams. So, yeah, I have confidence in Belgium here. And the next group, this is very easy. Spain number 1, Uruguay number 2, Saudi number 3. Spain, defending Euro champions, absolute powerhouse. They got Lamine Yamal, they got Pedri, they got Rodri. They're just an absolute powerhouse. And I think that they're going to go far in this tournament. Enough said there. And then another really threatening close group, Group I. It's going to be closer than people think, but I still have France take number 1. It's kind of a coin flip, but I think Norway take number 2, Senegal take number 3. Norway has Holland and Odegaard. They are a very threatening team, but I still think that France has the forward core of Olise, Mbappe, and Dembele. That's going to be really tough to stop. I don't know if anybody can, but we'll see later. And then Group J, we have Argentina, Austria, Jordan, Algeria. Another easy group to predict. Argentina, Austria, Algeria. Argentina might not be as good as they were in the 2022 edition, but they still have Leo Messi. They still have Julian Alvarez. They still have Enzo Fernandez. They have a lot of guys who could do a lot of damage, and they're going to win this group. It's not the hardest group, but I'm just saying that they have a lot of guys who could still play the game. And then we got Group K, and we got my Portugal, Colombia, and Uzbekistan number 3. Uzbekistan and Congo, it was kind of like a coin toss, so just put the Uzbeks. But yeah, Portugal, they have the best midfield in the tournament, and they have one of the best defenders in the tournament, Nuno Mendes. The midfield of João Neves, Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes, absolutely insane. Bruno Fernandes just gets assists so easily. And then you have João Neves and Vitinha, who just pass the ball so beautifully and so accurately that it's going to be a scary team. I think Portugal is going to do some real damage later in this tournament. And Group L, we have my other half. I'm half Portuguese, half Croatian. We got Croatia, England, Ghana, and Panama. This is going to be really close. Like, this first match between Croatia and England, it's going to be a very close match. And it's one of the better matches of the group stage. Like, whoever takes that one wins the entire group. I don't know. I was really tossing and turning between this one, but here we go. England, Croatia, Ghana. I was really torn between those guys because I doubted Croatia in 2022. I doubted them in 2018. And they made beautiful runs in both those tournaments. But I think that England, even though their team is weaker than the Euro even, like they may have not picked the right guys, like leaving out Cole Palmer. But I really think that they're somehow still going to narrowly edge out Croatia. Because they're not getting any younger. Our midfield is great, but it's not getting any younger. And they have a lot of young, threatening guys. And they have Harry Kane, one of the best strikers, when he wants to be. Moving on to the best third place teams of the tournament, which I have Czech Republic, Sweden, Senegal, Ivory Coast. Now it gets a bit more difficult. The other half. Scotland, Algeria, and Ghana. I guess Iran. And yeah, here is the round of 32, the knockout stage of the tournament. And the first match we have is Germany versus Scotland. Scotland have McTominay. Scotland have some good guys. They got Robertson, McTominay. But I still think that the German side, even without Lennart Karl, is going to overwhelm the Scottish side. So we got the Germans. And then we have the French versus the Swedish. This is going to be closer than people realize, but I still got France. I think France, they're going to do damage. They're going to go really far. Their attacking core is unreal. Like, you have 3 of the best forwards in world football, and they're going to do a lot of damage. And then you got South Korea versus Bosnia. This is going to be a fun match. I'd say South Korea narrowly edges it out. I don't know. That's a coin toss. Then we have Netherlands, Morocco. We have another coin toss. But I'd say Netherlands. They just have more depth. Even though Morocco has grown into being an absolute unit, I still think that could go either way. And then we have another close match. Brazil, Japan. But I still think that the depth... I still think that Neymar's got a little pep in his step. I still think that we have younger guys like Vinicius and Endrick who can do some damage. And I just think that the forwards are going to overwhelm Japan here. Then we got Norway and Ecuador. Another close match. Norway's got Odegaard. Norway's got Holland. They have the midfield and the attack. But I think they're going to get overwhelmed by Ecuador's defense. Ecuador moves on. Then you have Mexico and the Ivory Coast. Another match. That's close. But in Mexico City, no less. In front of a home crowd, I think the Mexicans get it done. England versus Senegal. I just think that Senegal are a great team. They're a great team. But I just think that England overwhelms these guys. The experience and just the star power overwhelms Senegal. We have a match that's a bit too close to comfort for me. We have Croatia versus Colombia. Oh. This is a real coin flip. Yeah. I see Croatia moving on. It's a really close match. You have Colombia's attack, like Luis Diaz And they have a pretty rock-solid defense as well. But I think that Croatia's midfield is just going to somehow, like they always do, get it done when nobody thinks they can. You know, just being the ultimate underdogs. And I think that's what's going to happen here. Spain versus Austria. Spain's attack will overwhelm Austria. You have Lamine. You have Nico Williams, who I didn't even mention. Absolute world-class attack. Then we have Turkey, Algeria, like I said earlier. Arda Güler, Yildiz. Turkey is moving on. Belgium, Czech Republic. Even though the Czechs got some good depth around, I still think that the experience of Belgium get them the victory here. And then we have a really close matchup in Miami, no less, which is just perfect for Messi because he plays in Miami. You have Argentina versus Uruguay. I think that the Argentinians, they still got a shot. Yeah, they're one of the favorites. They got pretty good midfield. They have a great attack of Messi and Alvarez. Argentina moves on. Egypt versus States. It's a close one, but I think Egypt. Because, I don't think that the United States are going to be able to match up to Egypt. I really don't think so. And then we have the Swiss versus Iran. I think the Swiss beat Iran here. Whoops. They just have way more quality in their squad compared to Iran. And then you have Portugal versus Ghana. Portugal, because they're one of the best teams in the tournament. We have a close match on the 4th of July in Philly. Germany versus France. I have France. The Germans, they have a great midfield, but they're missing one thing, a clear number 9. France, you could say they have 3. You could say they have 2 or 3. They got Dembele, Mbappe, Olise, not even to mention their midfield, Tchouaméni, and their defense, they got Jules Koundé, Saliba. They have depth for days. They have Mike Maignan in goal. I just think, yeah, the depth overwhelms the Germans here. And then we have the Netherlands versus South Korea. I say the Netherlands. The Netherlands beat the South Koreans. They just have a way better squad. That's it. That's all I could say. Now we have Brazil versus Ecuador. This is going to be an absolute battle that's going to rely on one narrative. Can Brazil's attack pierce through Ecuador's defense? I say yes. I say that they can. Yeah, I think that their attack is just going to narrowly edge out here. It's going to be a really close game. And then you have Mexico, England. I'd say England. Even though they didn't pick their best guys, they still picked great guys. You have Harry Kane still going. You have a bunch of star power, a bunch of quality. So, yeah, moving on to Croatia versus Spain. The Spanish slaughter my Croatia. They slaughter us. They did it in the Euro. It's going to be an absolute it's going to be a repeat of that. It's going to be a repeat of what happened in the Euro. It's going to suck. And then we have Turkey, Belgium. Turkey gets the upset. And the Turks move on to the quarterfinals. They are the dark horse. They make a deep run in this World Cup. Argentina versus Egypt. I have Argentina. I don't think Egypt could stack up to the quality that this Argentinian squad has. Moving on to Portugal, Switzerland, which I will be at this round of 16 game in Vancouver. The Swiss are good. The Swiss, they have depth. They are a dark horse contender. But I think we get the match that everybody wants. Portugal wins. They're the best team in the tournament. They have such good defense and the best midfield in the tournament. Easy for Portugal. Then you have France, Netherlands, a close match. But I say France. France's attack clobbers the Netherlands. It's not going to look like a clobbering, but just on paper, they clobber them. It's going to be an absolute masterclass from Dembele, Mbappe, and the boys. Moving on to Spain, Turkey. And this is where the Cinderella run ends. The Turks are eliminated in the quarterfinals. And then we have an absolute crazy day, July 11th. The same day Conor McGregor fights Max Holloway on International Fight Week. And you have two amazing quarterfinals. Let's start off with Brazil and England. I think England's been getting a lot of the easy matchups. I think where they place in the group really favors them here. And I think that just Brazil has the better squad altogether. So I have Brazil. And then we have Messi versus Ronaldo. Depends on what side of the ball you're on, what side of the debate you're on. I'm not trying to be biased because Argentina has an amazing squad, but Portugal moves on. Portugal has the better midfield. Portugal has the better defense. Portugal just absolute midfield masterclass against the Argentinians, and they get to move on to the semis. So the first semis, this is razor close margin. France versus Spain. I have no idea who I'm going to go for. It's really a coin toss, but I would say like both attacks are strong. Spain has a strong attack with Lamine and Nico, but nothing gets stronger than France's attack. And they have pretty good midfield too, Spain, but I still think that the France attack just goes in there, does what they've been doing the whole tournament, and just dominates. Now we got Brazil versus Portugal. I think you know where this is going. You have a Portuguese squad with such quality, and you have a Brazilian squad with a lot of young guys who will be back. So I say Portugal. And then the third place match, we have Spain versus Brazil. I'd say Spain takes it because their squad quality is just way better than Brazil's. Just like what happened in the semifinal with Portugal and Brazil. Portugal's squad quality was just way better. And now we move on to the final. It's going to be a really tough match because you have the best attack in the world versus the best midfield in the world. Who comes out on top? I have Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo wins his first World Cup. And that's all she wrote. Ronaldo wins his first ever World Cup. I'm wearing my Ronaldo jersey right now. I really think that this is the best team that Portugal has had since 1966. This is the best team we've had since we've been in the World Cup. And I think that we're just going to absolutely prove all the doubters wrong. And we're going to come out with the victory. And we'll see what happens in this World Cup, because It could really be an unpredictable tournament sometimes. Underdogs, Cinderella stories. It's the best sporting event on earth. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.